Good morning.
Good morning, Akash.
Morning.
Yeah. Of course, take your seat, please. You had your breakfast?
Yes, sir, I had one.
Must have been a bit early in the day.
No, sir, I usually get up early only, so not too much difference.
And where do you stay in Delhi?
Sir, I stay in Rohini.
Let us start the day
Yes, sir.
with the most state-of-art technology in the world.
Yes, sir.
So which way is AI going?
Sir, AI is still growing, I would say. And the way it is going, we need more regulations. Like currently, the innovation is taking precedence over regulation. But I believe that we are going towards artificial general intelligence that will be more helpful to us. But on the other hand, there are both pros and cons to the same. So in the future, rather than focusing only on its innovation, we need to have a light touch approach so that we can also tackle the fallouts that may happen because of AI.
You are liking for sci-fi movies, so I guess you have seen Space Odyssey 2001.
Sir, actually, I left it in between. I have not completely watched it. So I will have to continue it. I have not completely watched.
The Terminator series.
Yes, sir, I have watched.
So, will AI take over human systems?
Sir, I believe that it is very far-fetched that AI may take over human systems until and unless there is a system of human in the loop. And it is only that we use it for our own benefit and there are safety regulations. It is highly unlikely. But it is all about how the technology grows, and it depends on us also. Like if we want to make it controllable, it can be controlled, but if it goes beyond our hand, then it might be a possibility like what happened.
Currently, who are considered to be sort of best of the thinker technocrats on AI?
Sir, technocrat I would say is Mustafa Suleyman. He is constantly talking about the same, and also Elon Musk to some extent, and Sundar Pichai. I would say these three people are currently working for.
Any person who is called the father of AI?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the.
You have heard of Jeffrey Hinton?
Yes, sir. He worked for Google and he was the first person who came up with the algorithm for artificial intelligence. But I will have to read more about.
Nick Bostrom. They are supposed to be best of the people in AI. They are saying that we are the process has already begun.
Yes.
AI controlling human beings. They say the process has already begun.
So to some extent, I would also agree with the same because now many of our decisions are being taken by AI. It is becoming an agent rather than only a tool. One of the basic things we can see is how the social media algorithms are working correctly. Like what we see in social media, that is not mainly of our own volition, but also what the algorithm thinks that we would like to see. So some areas we are seeing how AI is transforming our AIs.
Okay, Akash, thank you. And all the best, of course.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Akash.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So, my name is very familiar.
Yes.
So many years back. I want to discuss about Akash missile.
Yes.
What is Akash missile?
Sir, it is a success story of missile created by DRDO under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. And recently there is also the Akash new generation that has been created. It has also been integrated with ramjet technology so that we can have a better operational efficiency of the same. It is a short-range missile against the area targets that they attacks.
Nowadays, another name is Pralay missile.
Yes, sir.
What is Pralay?
Sir, it is a quasi-ballistic missile that has been created. So while ballistic missiles usually don't change their path, it has the possibility to maneuver while it is en route. So that is why it is.
You are working in specific sector.
Yes, sir.
Something is short called Silver Dew.
Yes, sir.
1st January 2020.
Yes.
Approximately 5 years.
Yes, sir.
So, is there a management job or do you own the resort or?
In fact, my father owns the resort and I look after all the technological aspects regarding the resort, well versed with technology. So I handle the websites, the online rates, inventory, etc. That is all seen by me.
Managerial job, basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you opted for social.
Yeah, right.
What would be the impact of new advances in AI?
Yes.
On the social structure?
So there are both positives and negatives to the same. Firstly, I would say regarding the positives, it will lead to more integration with the society. Like we have seen how AI can be used for language translations and how it is a way that people can interact with each other in a better way. Also, in various fields, such health, education, etc. It will have a booster impact so that human development can enhance. But on the flip side, there are also issues like deep fakes. Currently, they are a major issue that may lead to erosion of trust in the society. Second is the privacy issues that arise because of AI. And third, I would say that AI models are usually trained on the data that we already have. So if the data is biased, then the existing inequalities in the society may also get amplified. So there are both sides of the coin, and what we need to do is have a more inclusive AI and a more responsible AI, like as been said by Media Awards.
Okay, Akash, you have been in Delhi.
Yeah.
Almost all the time. This is your work.
Yes.
Except in that silverling thing.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, is the multiplicity of the agencies root cause of the problems of Delhi? Like there is MCD, there is NDMC, there is Delhi Jail Board, then there is Delhi Police,
Yes.
which directly doesn't report to the state government, etc. etc. Yeah. Seven.
Sir, while Delhi has a special status, I would say, because as the national capital, so certain agencies have been given specific tasks like what we don't see in regular state governments, especially with police order and land tax and trust. But on the other hand, it is the lack of coordination between the agencies and not the multiplicity that is the main issue. Because there is lack of accountability and the responsibility lies on which agency has to go with the same. And also many times we have seen that there is division of work is not very clearly defined. Like even in case of road maintenance, PWD manages all the big roads while the small roads are under MCD only. So even the common person may not know whom to approach to get the problems solved. So I think it is better that as far as possible, there should be integration and synergy between the organizations. And to a certain extent, in the future, we can merge institutions which are having the similar type of work background so that we can have better efficiency regarding the law.
Okay, all the best, Akash.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Akash. How are you?
Very good, sir.
You live in Rohini.
Yes, sir.
So apart from that Rohini, how many other Rohinis can you mention?
Sir, I don't know about the places, but I know that Rohini was the first satellite that was launched by ISRO. And also, Rohini is also in the mythology that we have seen. It is one of the nakshatras, 27 nakshatras. But regarding the geographical places, sir, I'm not aware.
In films?
Sorry, sir, I can't.
Have you watched the film Gandhi?
No, sir, I had not watched it.
Okay. Now, you have worked in the hospitality sector. In fact, you have a stake in the hospitality sector.
Yes.
How is this sector doing? How much GDP contribution comes from the hospitality sector?
Sir, in financial year 2023, it contributed to 5% of the GDP, and 6.8 crore people were directly or indirectly employed in the hospitality and the tourism industry as a whole. Also, the pre-pandemic levels have been achieved once again. In the last year, it was going good, and the foreign tourist arrivals are also increasing. Other than that, government has also given impetus in the budget for the same, like creating new destinations and giving the industry status to the hotels.
Yes, but foreign tourists, you say, are increasing, but overall, so we really get very many foreign tourists at all. Considering that a small country like, say, Kenya,
Yes.
gets more foreign tourists in a month than we get in a year.
Yes, sir. We only get 1.45% of the total foreign tourist arrivals that happen worldwide. So what we need to do is to create a brand of India, and we are not able to create an image of India as a tourist destination. Like we are now focusing on different type of tourisms like medical tourism or even ecotourism and religious tourism also. So these are the ways we can focus on to increase the foreign tourist arrival. But we need to have more marketing, both online, offline, and also to engage with all the people that
Marketing, we do carry out Incredible India campaign, and this every state does its own UP Ajab hai, Gajab, MP Ajab hai, Gajab hai type so on and so forth.
Yes, sir.
But the foreign tourists which you are talking about, are they really foreign tourists? Even those that come? Because all Indians who are abroad with a foreign passport,
Yes.
and he comes in, it's counted as a tourist.
Yes, sir.
He's really a tourist. He comes and stays with his family or relatives.
Yes, sir. So that is also one of the point. But I think that we are lacking our potential where we can be in the foreign tourist arrival. So it is also the image of India, like we have to enhance that. There are security issues like that have been provoked in the past. Also, there are issues with the tourists. There are lack of facilities and even skilling of the people among the hospitality industry. So if we can work upon these, that definitely we can see a rise in the pay.
Okay, tell me, in US, deportation is the hot issue.
Yes, sir.
So, 3 high-profile deportations which keep getting mentioned is Mohammed Khalil and Kabir Khan, former student of Jamia Millia, and another lady.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about it? Is that deportation justified?
Sir, I think that the institutional freedoms, especially of the educational institutions in USA, that is being infringed upon because it is mostly said that they are supporters of, they are anti-Semitic in their ideology, and that is why their visa has been revoked. So it is not good that people are just deporting because of a different ideology, and educational institutions should be a place for healthy discussions and deliberations.
Yes, but they are not into healthy discussion. They are disrupting classes, indulging in violence.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think it should be are their actions in consonance with their status as a school?
So there are both sides of the same until and unless they think that it is a threat to their national security or there is a threat of any law and order issue, then it might be justified, but it should not be done solely on the basis of certain ideology or certain assumptions that are being happening. So independence of institutions should be given priority regarding this.
The last question, why you mean to say that everybody should be allowed to practice his ideology? That country also has a certain framework.
Yes, sir.
Why shouldn't they be allowed to step out on the framework?
That is also issue, but I think that it is the opportunity that these institutions have given in the past that have attracted all these talented people. So there has to be a synergy between both the things, like so that the negative impact that we are seeing, especially the voluntary deportation, or there are threats that they may not have certain security or there may be security threats to their lives, that needs to be focused on.
So overall, you think they've been dealt with unfairly?
Yes, sir, to a certain extent.
Okay, thank you.
From hospitality, yes, he bring you to the extremism here.
Yes.
How do we intend sorting out the left-wing extremism?
So
Have you read the newspaper today?
yes, sir.
What are the headlines?
So first headline was that I read about that there has been a moist attack in Chhattisgarh and one of the security personnel had died. Second was that there is that trade related, like Mr. Trump is saying that we could have
a focus on left-wing extremists.
Yes, sir.
What has the Home Minister again said? By when would he finally get rid of it?
So he has set the date of March 2026 as the final date for
And it's, how can you do it? Just 1, 2.
Yes, sir. So both aspects regarding this. First would be the law and order. Like we need to have a good crackdown on the people who are taking up arms against the state. That has even increased in the past year, and in the recent year we have seen that attacks are being going. And second would be to tackle the ideology itself. Like people need to.
How does your artificial intelligence assist us in these two aspects?
So, regarding law and order, it is the detection that we can do. Like we can have predictive knowledge regarding some attacks based on the information that might we get. Also, it's surveillance if there is any infiltration, etc. Then for detection,
Will it help us in it? Nabbing, lone wolf, or all algorithms are basic, that 90%, 5%. I'm asking lone wolves in this kind of environment. How do you target it?
So we can track their online activity by using artificial intelligence. If there is any divergence or we see that there is a particular pattern that is emerging out of such posts that are happening, we can tackle it.
Why is Israel still going on ruthlessly in Gaza?
Sir, it is the failure of the talks that has happened. Like Israel was forcing that all the hostages should be released, and
How many are left?
I'm sure I'm not aware of the exact number, but Palestine was, but Hamas was saying that we need to go for the phase 2 of the ceasefire that has been agreed. But Israel is saying that what we saw in the first phase, that there were certain instances where the hostages were not properly handled, or there were even dead bodies that were given to Israel.
So what are the chances of the Prime Minister meeting Yunus during the PIPSTEC? Where is it being held?
Sir, I have not read about it, but regarding the possibility that he might meet with Mr. Yunus, it is in best interest because of the recent changes that has happened and also the disputes that we have seen, especially across our border and the internal security challenges it poses. So it is better that if we can have a deliberate and
So I was to make you the Director of Tourism.
yes, sir.
Overall in charge, and expect you to get 12% of the GDP.
Yes.
Assisting health sector to get 6% of the GDP, and education to get 6% of the GDP, and only tourism will give 12% of the GDP. Yes, it's a background knowledge. Just in 3 lines, tell me, how would you go about it?
So first would be that I would be promoting the offbeat destinations and the new destinations that are being going up rather than focusing only on the existing places. Second would be I would be creating an integrated database of all the tourism providers, employment, etc. for better information dissemination. And thirdly would be that I would go for the skilling of the people, especially the people who are in the local areas there only, so that we can improve the service quality that we are providing. So for
Have you ever been to Thailand?
sir, I have not been abroad.
Yeah, ma'am. Oh, thank you.
Second. Hello, Ash. How are you? I am very good, sir.
You've been a resident of the NCR.
Yes, sir.
Is the NCR seeing uncontrolled urbanization?
So to a certain extent, that is true because we are seeing how the infrastructure is not able to meet the demand of the people. Also, there are slums that has grown in the past few decades, and also the over-congestion and the congestion that we see, especially in the traffic or even in the pollution levels that has happened. So to a certain extent, urbanization has gone beyond what was the capacity, but we are now trying to decongest the same. We are trying to make more satellite cities. So it will take time, but it can be handled in the future.
Don't you think the divide between the NCT and the NCR from the administrative sense is an artificial, and by NCT should be expanded by urban portions of the NCR?
Sir, I think that the division of the states that we currently have, that is not only on the basis of administrative divide, but it is also the culture and the language and everything that we take into account in forming these boundaries. And NCR Planning Board was created with a very good intention that all the states would work together to have an integrated approach towards development. So while it may be a possibility that such things might happen, but the system that we have, it gives better flexibility to the states because the development requirements are different.
You studied sociology.
Yes.
Even if in that Gurgaon or Noida,
Yes, sir.
aren't they cosmopolitan places now? Is there a local culture which you want to preserve?
Definitely, sir, there has been urbanization and cosmopolitanism has increased in these districts. But the NCR does not only restrict to Gurgaon or Noida, it goes beyond to Rajasthan itself and also includes almost all of Haryana. So that is why it is not being feasible at the moment to integrate it with the NCT of the UP.
What are deep fakes?
So these are artificial media which has been created by using artificial intelligence as a technology to use generative adversarial networks. So basically there are two machines that work for the same. There is a generator and there is a discriminator. So while a generator will make the media on the basis of the past data that it has, but the discriminator will see how good the deepfake has been created. And once they believe that the deepfake is to a certain level, then the same is generated by the...
This is the quantum of effort required to identify a deep fake. Can we really do when you really question everything, which seems to be what you believe in.
Yes, sir. But there is a need to do the same because if we do not question it, then there is a better possibility that we might be misled, especially in the era of deepfakes. So if we are able to question how and why a particular event happened or what is the background of the same, then it also might help us in spreading misinformation and disinformation. So it is a better way, and even many social media companies are also working for the same, like metadata is there, or even watermarking of such media that has been generated. So it can be possible that we can distinguish between the same.
Char Dham, the highway,
Yes, sir.
is it an environmental disaster?
Sir, there are both aspects to this, like environment has been to a certain extent will be impacted. But the Supreme Court, even the high-powered committee that was set up, they also said that the national security interests are also very much important in the Char Dham project that has happened. And also it will be a boost to the economy as well. And in the past, our difference with the China in border infrastructure, that has actually become exponential. So we cannot be caught complacent while they are making their infrastructure along the border, and we are not in position of strategic deterrence.
What do you understand by resort politics?
Sir, it happens usually after elections that many of the members that have been elected, they are housed in a resort in a different state, so that there is less possibility of them defecting to other parties. So it is not a very healthy practice, I would say, because they are elected on the party ticket, and then they are defecting only because of their own private interest. So it should not be promoted, right?
You're a F1 racing fan?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Yeah. What activities take place at a pit stop?
Sir, mostly it is the changing of the tires, and refueling was banned by FIA because of the security reasons. And also if there are some minor changes that might be required, like changing of the steering or even the front wing that may get harmed during the race. So these are certain activities that happen during the pit stop.
What do you understand by torque?
Torque, sir, is a physical quantity. It is basically the rotational force that is created in an engine, but I'm not exactly sure of the technical details. I find it for.
Who was Maharaja Agrasian?
Sir, he is considered to be a mythological founder of the Agrawal, the Agrahari community. He was in the Dwapar Yuga, the Mahabharata era, and also he is known for his policy of one brick, 1 rupee. So that every new person who came to Agroha during his way, they were given 1 brick and 1 rupee so that they can have their own house and also to start their own business. So it was a like of inclusive and the cooperative structure that was happening even in that time that we are seeing even today. So that is one of the things.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
What is a toxic comment?
Sir, a toxic comment is something that is derogatory and obscene towards a particular person. While a toxic comment is always negative, a negative comment may not always be toxic, because negativity helps in having a better discussion and a more informed deliberation. But a toxic comment is usually targeted towards an individual or a group to defame them, to derogate them, or even it may contain some obscene content. So it does not encourage a proper discussion in the camp.
Does it also depend on how the person is receiving it?
So context is very important in toxic comments, and that is why the classification of the same is very difficult, because in different cultures, different words may mean something different. So until and unless we know the proper context behind the same, that is also what defines the toxicity.
Tell us about what you did in TEDx.
Sir, I was the main organizer of the event. We were to organize an event. We had 7 speakers, and also we were to give them proper facilities. And regarding all the arrangement, it is about the stay of the speakers, their preparation, also for the registration of the students, how to manage the money, etc. So what I learned was mainly the leadership skills from this event. So that is.
Who were the speakers?
So speakers are Mr. Raman Malhotra. He is working in the water conservation. There is also Mr. Sharath was there. He was a musician, and also Miss I'm not able to recall her name. She was an international traveler, so she also shared her stories.
You are not remembering a miss. What happened to you?
So I will, sir, it has been a long time. Definitely, sir, I will.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And Akash, tell us first of all your own self-evaluation, self-analysis.
I think it went well. I was able to maintain the flow and
Yeah.
answers were
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Some areas that I might need to focus on, like my TEDx event, I will have to go again.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it went well.
Yeah. Akash, for some work from here to 3rd of April,
Yes,
we want to make two, we are calling them most basic suggestions.
yes, sir.
One, like you are saying, yes, it was flow, good flow. Like you are saying, yes, you were able to maintain the flow. Yes. But the way you are speaking gives an impression to the panel that these are the questions he has anticipated,
Mm.
therefore prepared. And he is just reciting those answers.
Yeah.
Now, fact is, we of course anticipate questions. We of course prepare. It is only about the way you speak during the interview.
Yes,
See if you can make it natural, interactive.
yes,
And then, if some say panel member 1, 2, 3 have interacted with you, you said whatever you said. Then if some panel member 4, 5 or someone says, okay, let us try to think of an area where he may not have anticipated a question.
yes, sir.
That comes up. It becomes even more clear. Okay, questions you had anticipated, very fluent. Suddenly something new comes your way. There is a little bit of fumbling, or you are taking time to grasp it or put things together. None of these two things.
Yes,
So we do prepare, of course. One is about the way we speak. And if that the way we speak is interactive, it's like not Q and A.
yes, sir.
A Q from here and A from there. It is free-flowing, interactive. Then that will take care of this.
Yes,
Secondly, some but considerable number of answers. They are a bit lengthy.
okay, sir.
And that also, I think, connects with the first point. Because in your mind, you don't feel satisfied until you say everything you have prepared.
Okay, sir.
That is how it's coming across. Interactive would mean carefully pay attention to what is being asked. It also means the attention is not only to the words that are being asked, it is also what is behind what is being asked.
Yes,
And sort of, can you anticipate, can you preempt, and accordingly present your points.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is, having said this, all I will say is, look at yourself independently. That is the video, like a third person. Keep these things in mind and a couple of others I'll say, but this one, and make your own judgment. Okay, panel gave a feedback, but this one. So if panel says I'm sounding like a pre-prepared answer, same answer, but how can I make it deliver it like I am talking, like I'm interacting?
Yes.
And another criteria will be without loss of content. How can I sharpen the answer?
Yes.
These two, Baki, content-wise, you are already very well prepared.
Yes, sir.
Then, as to the grasp and understanding of the issues, that also comes across. So we don't see any sort of drawback or flaw in content preparation.
Yes,
But there too, I wonder, let us discuss that point.
yes, sir.
Whether your sources of information are sort of limited. So if I ask you, what are you reading? What do you read daily for current affairs?
Sir, I read newspapers. I read Indian Express and also one economic newspaper that I am reading.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you consciously apply your mind to whatever you read.
Yes, sir. I do.
There are 3 or 4 answers which are straight out of that newspaper.
And
Exactly what Express is arguing, that is your argument. I noted 3 and let us spare time so that you finally also find it very useful.
yes,
He was discussing with you deportations from USA.
yes, sir.
What you spoke is 100% Indian Express line.
Sir, it was also fresh cover. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. The question is the slogans of death to Israel. Is it freedom of expression?
No, sir, not.
Indian Express won't say so.
Yes, sir.
Indian Express won't even tell us that under Biden administration, almost all Ivy League universities were pro-Palestine, and there were massive gatherings of students shouting death to Israel. Okay. Slurs on Jews. So anti-Semitism.
Yes.
Is that freedom of expression?
No, sir.
Express doesn't say anything about it. What surprises me most is A and B together. Huh? Ki A, Express doesn't say so. Huh? And B, how come we don't think? So my question is less for Express, more for all of us, including you as aspirant.
Yes.
Okay, where is your independent thinking? Day before yesterday, Israel bombards Gaza Strip.
Yes.
All headlines are bloody shouting, Israel broke ceasefire. Okay. Let's take 10 seconds. See how the truth will come out in 10 seconds. You tell me. What was ceasefire?
And it was all about exchange of prisoners and I can't recall anything sir, right now.
Did Hamas keep the promises made under ceasefire?
Not all, sir. They did not give all the hostages and even the atrocities that were happening, and even there were skirmishes that was happening between the forces, both the sides.
So who broke ceasefire?
Both of them, sir. Matlab, it is not only one side. First,
That is the problem, Akash. If Israel and Hamas come together and decide, ki, okay, hostages will be returned,
yes, sir.
and Hamas doesn't return hostages, in spite of so many warnings, you are still saying both sides are responsible. Who broke ceasefire? Both sides broke ceasefire.
Yes.
Where is sense of justice? That is the brainwash that this print news media is predominantly doing. If Hamas doesn't return the hostages, was Hamas told many times?
Yes, sir. There were back-channel negotiations that were also happening.
Yeah. So who broke ceasefire? It means who broke ceasefire? If the terms of the ceasefire were this,
Yes, sir.
and it is Hamas who is not returning hostages, President Trump warned that if hostages are not returned by this Saturday, all hell will break loose. You are still saying both sides are responsible.
Balanced still.
No, I'm not about balance. I'm about critical mind, careful thinking, not getting carried away by, I call it one-sided propaganda. I'm accusing even Indian Express of this. They won't say, you go back as much as possible. Show me Indian Express telling you about atrocities committed by Hamas.
Very less.
Yeah.
They don't cover it.
And the Rakshasas are killing even kids, mind you. Torturing and killing kids.
Yes.
But Indian Express line is, Israel is the aggressor. And that is less important, that you lap it up without careful thinking. Right?
Yes.
Secondly, you pay attention to that answer. General Sir is talking to you about Naxalism in latest news. All you said is there was a Maoist attack and one person died.
30 months and one security personnel.
All you said, actually,
Yes,
but it is missing a very critical, important part of the whole.
Yes.
It is a successful operation against Maoists, but one Jawan laid down his life performing his duty.
Yes.
All you said is Maoist attack in which one got killed. You are also saying, I must tell you, Akash, it really pays. I feel even sometimes tired, exhausted, listening to our complete suicidal, self-destructive naivety. I very carefully used all adjectives.
Yes.
You are saying so easily that yes, Prime Minister should meet Muhammad Yunus. Again, Indian Express line. Again, where is your thinking? Who is Muhammad Yunus?
That he is head of the interim.
Is he? Is he head?
He is a caretaker of the government.
So,
टिकट किसने पार्ट कर दो
होगा Yes, himself, मतलब there is no democracy.
so our democratically elected Prime Minister should meet him.
Yes.
And in that meeting, it means legitimize his position with Bangladesh government. Who the hell is Muhammad Yunus? But you are so easily saying कि हो he should meet. वो क्या दो दोस्त मिल रहे हैं क्या कैनॉट प्लेस में कैफे में चाय पे चर्चा करने के लिए और यार ये मिस कौन थी यार मैं भूल गया सर ने मुझसे मजाक लिखा. Is it like that?
No, sir. No. Okay.
And then the guy is sitting over a government which is committing atrocities on Hindus in Bangladesh.
Yes.
But our Prime Minister should meet him. So where is your critical thinking? One very simple, now that I bring it to your notice, see how simple it is. When it comes to Pakistan, again, thank God, the present government. Our previous governments have been bullshitting and I have been criticizing them left, right, center in whatever little voice I have. But at least this government has taken a stand. Noted. Terror and talks can't go together. Okay. Can the same principle is not applicable to Bangladesh?
Yes.
So you so easily said, okay, he should meet.
Don't try to appear to be very balanced.
Yes.
The UPSC is not recruiting trapeze artists.
Yes.
Otherwise, they would be the best at maintaining balance.
Yeah.
They are trying to recruit decisive opposites.
Akash, balance, I would say, I mean, now almost for fifth time I'm repeating the word. Critical mind.
Yes.
Okay. Ability to read between the lines, etc. Right? But I repeat, content-wise, you are all set. Our day also has started with on a happy note. I hope you say the same thing after you go out.
Yeah.
Not only when you are sitting in front of us.
That is the whole point of this conversation. Like, if I can't get to improve myself, then what is the point?
Yeah. Right? And anytime till before or even after 3rd of April, do stay in touch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. These are notes for you. All the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.